What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video today, and in this video I'm going to be taking a look at some new Panda Model releases for April 2025. So finally, some new releases for Panda Models have just come through the wire for me. I think we've got a couple small batches or whatever, just a couple new releases here. Yeah, so here we go. So the two releases that I have, so this is kind of a short batch here. The first one I have is a Bahrain Royal Flight 767-400, which is the only other operator than United and Delta currently, and then Continental previously, to have operated this type. So very exciting to see that. And then there's a Finnair A350-900, the Santa Claus Finland special livery. Very cool. I know there is a big collectible show in China or something. It's out in Beijing, I believe. I think it could be for that as well, but I'm not entirely sure. But those are the Panda Model releases that I have, at least for now. And then I also want to quickly highlight some new future releases that just came out for 3D Design Deck. Very interesting stuff has come out here. Of course, I've mentioned the Frontier Jet Express CRJ200. I've seen some photos of it, and it looks really good. And back in mid-March, they also announced a couple of other future releases, a couple Dash 8 100s, the E9A widget, which is the military variant. That is getting both 1-200 and 1-400 scale releases, and then also a US Air Express variant with the old 90s livery. That is a 1-400 only release, though, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, very good stuff from 3D Design Deck there with the future releases. Really excited to see that they're just pumping out all kinds of cool announcements, or at least they will be very soon here. They say that within the next few months that they will have those models ready for production and pre-order and all that. And then just today on Wednesday, they announced a couple more future releases, and they are all Beechcraft 1900s. Mesa Airlines, Air Canada, Express, and US Air Express, which for me, with Retro FSD, I do need one of these. So I will gladly take one because just having more Beech 1900s would be awesome. Now, they say that they will be doing both scales, 1-200 and 1-400, and as you can tell by the tag just above the aircraft, they will be doing flaps down variants of them in both scales. So yes, we are getting 1-400 flaps down Beech 1900Ds in 2025. How crazy is that? The technology in this scale has just become incredible lately. So the 3D printing has just been phenomenal lately. All these manufacturers popping up, as I mentioned, with 3D Design Deck, Tarmac Designs, Jet Set Models, etc., etc. A lot of cool brands popping up in that space and are making some really epic accessories and model airplanes. So really excited to pick up that US Air Express. They say that they'll have them available probably around the May or June window in either one of those releases. And then as for their upcoming, what I would assume would be an April release, that should be out soon, I would think, because I know they said they're going to have the photos from the March releases out, which had, just recap that real quick, a lot of Challenger 600s in here, and also a couple Dash 8s and 1-200. 1-400, they had a bunch of Challengers, a CRJ 200, and the B2, which was the 3D Design Deck exclusive, and then some additional accessories as well. The bus sets, the towers for Toronto Pearson, and also a regional hangar that they made as sort of it was a giveaway item, but there was so much demand that they decided to release it regularly. So the gentleman that is behind the 3D Design Deck brand has been doing incredible lately. I have to give him a huge round of applause just for the phenomenal effort that he's putting into the brand lately. So shows you how strongly committed he is to the brand and the bright future that it has for sure, and gives me a lot of hope for 3D printing to become more prominent in this scale outside of just the accessories like the ground service vehicles, ramp towers, terminal buildings. We're going to get some really good model airplanes with actual decals on them and, really good details on it, just like a die-cast 1-400 model. A lot of good stuff coming up here. So this is just a quick release video for today, kind of a more disorganized release video than what I would typically make, but just a couple Just a couple of announcements to fill in the schedule for this week, since we've been a little bit slow here in the last few days for new releases and whatnot, but certainly keeping an eye out for some new stuff. I'm hoping NG is coming out soon. They should be announcing the hints any day now, I would think, but as we know with NG, they do not adhere to a consistent release schedule, so we could very well be waiting another week or two for them to even announce their next set of releases. So we'll keep an eye on that, and we'll obviously cover that when that comes around, so stay tuned for that video. With that being said, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.